Hello, so in this lesson, what we're going to do is do a quick recap on how to stretch pizza dough. Now, this may be a skill you already know, and we're just going to go through a stretching method which can be very easy to pick up. So all we're going to start with is we're going to put some flour down on our surface here, just to make sure that nothing sticks to it, because that's the last thing we want to happen. I'm then going to have our flour available. I'm going to pick up our dough. Now, you'll see it's already got a slight flour layer on top for when it thaws. We're just going to literally dunk it in the flour. Make sure we get the edges as well. I say the dough today is quite dry. Sometimes if you leave your dough out in a humid environment, it can sometimes get quite moist and sticky. And that's where the flour really comes into its own. So you can see all I'm doing is I'm literally just gently stretching it out so it's a bit rounder. So it means when we start stretching, we're going to get the right shape. I say the dough's originally come slightly rectangular, and if you start with a rectangle, you're going to get a rectangle at the end. So the trick is to try and even it out originally. Now, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my fingers and I'm just going to prod around the edge there. Now, as you can see, what I'm doing is I'm leaving the middle of the dough alone, because the middle will always stretch itself. And what I've done is I've formed a little bit of a crust, and then that gives us a bit of space now to then help stretch it out. So I'm going to do is I'm going to lean it back on my fingers there. I'm going to pick it up and just work my way round with the dough and just go through like that. So if we switch over to your camera quickly, we can see just working my way around the dough. You can see with the gravity, it's just starting to stretch itself. Then all I'm going to do is flip it over onto my hand and then just go side to side. Now this can feel really unnatural at first, but what I'm doing is literally placing from one hand to the other. And as I go, I'm just gently turning it in, quarter turn every time. And that's just gently stretching the dough out. I say what you can also do is put it on the back of your knuckles as well. In case it's not quite round, you can just manually stretch it out a little bit or so. And then you would lay it down onto your surface there. And you just want to make sure every time, before you start topping your pizza, that it's not sticking and it's loose on that surface. So I can just stretch it a little bit on there if I need to, just to help bring it back into shape. And then that pizza then is ready to top. Now, what I'll also do is I've also got a pizza peel here as well. So let's just imagine this pizza's top quickly. What you need to do is just want to slide underneath your pizza like so. And then you can maneuver your pizza and place it in the oven. Now, one thing you may find is if it is starting to stick a little bit, is just on your pizza peel, place a little bit of flour over the edge there, and then gently slide. Now, if you've got a very well floured surface, you may feel yourself chasing the pizza across the surface a little bit. Don't panic. What you can do is you can just chase it, and you can use the weight of the dough and pick it up and drag it a little bit, and you can maneuver it as so. And there we go. So the key things to think of here is if your dough feels very, very soft, don't panic, let gravity do its work and just gently work its way around. Now, if you're fairly new to stretching dough, best thing to do, recap this video a couple of times, work through those steps of prodding round the outside, gently nursing the dough round, just to like get a bit of shape to it initially. And then I say you can then pass the dough side to side just to gently stretch it some more. And say if it's starting to lose shape, you can then apply it on the back of your knuckles, just gain a little bit of shape. And then worst case, you can always then stretch it a little bit on the table just to help get that final shape ready for topping. But I say if you're fairly new, take a tray of dough out and practice makes perfect. Work your way through a tray or two of dough, get a feel for it, and it will soon start